one of the most important things through all this is just to have a healthy mind and body. Mm-hmm. Something I've been taking the time to focus on. I think being pent up inside all day and not being able to see your loved ones, it's important to make sure that you're doing everything possible to have a focused mind and again, just a healthy body. I think it's extremely important, especially with, in general, just the virus going around and everything. Just to keep your immune system up. But I just been keeping a healthy mindset. For me personally, just to work out, where I just shut off the world and focus on me.
But what about you, Chiest? Like, what was that like for you? Like, how do you keep the stress off of you of everything that's happening?
I found peace and solace in meditation. Really just sitting with myself. This is the first time I've ever sat with myself because I move so fast. I didn't realize I moved that fast. I'm always working, or I'm a father, or I'm a creator. I'm helping somebody. I'm blessing somebody. Somebody's blessing me, whatever. So with Corona, you just sat with yourself. Right. And I've never had that time or made that time. And that's how I really have been getting through it. It's just meditation when I wake up. To be honest, my new thing is meditation before I go to sleep. Because it's like, let me find peace before I go to sleep, so I'm not...
Get the day off of you.
You know what I mean? Just the current daily struggles, let me just
right.
And then relax my body. And I noticed that even though I haven't been getting 8 hours, when I meditate, if I sleep for a good 4 hours, I feel like I've slept for 8 hours.
Interesting thing about
like literally peace. Getting to what you said, I've always looked at, I saw a quote today and it said, exercising is not a punishment for what you ate. It is a celebration of what your body can do. Wow. When I seen that, I say, that make me want to exercise. Because it's like, let me jump this high while I still can. Because in 30 years, even though I might take better care of my body, eating alkaline, this and that, I still might not be able to jump that high. Right. I can jump, but I'm going to be able to jump as high as I can at 30. So exercise is a form of celebrating your body and not like, this is punishment for what I ate bad last week. So I've been wanting to get into exercise, and so hopefully me and him can talk about that because I want to look like him. I want to have his body in like 2 years. So.
And that's all, and it can be that, in 2 years. All it takes is consistency. But I want to make a point about sleep. I was looking at a post on Instagram, and this Rastafarian man, bless his soul, he was explaining like we have a misconception of what sleep really is. Sleep is, psychology says it's for your short and long-term memory, but this man was explaining that sleep is used to filter out the toxins in your body. So the less toxins you have, the less sleep you actually need. What do you think about that?
Really interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to put your body in the body shop for 8 hours if you don't have 8 hours of work inside of your body.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I do snaps?
We
do snaps on each other?
Snap how you will, fam. But no, it's an interesting thing about sleep and exercise. And exercise, I don't know if you guys followed David Goggins.
I love David Goggins.
Stay hard.
Yes.
I love him.
Serious.
You should really look at David Goggins. He's I think he's the only serviceman that has passed the SEALs training and 4 other trainings. He's the only soldier that's ever done that.
Amongst many other things.
Yeah. And he's really inspirational. He's just like, get the fuck out of your head. And he also talks about his shortcomings. Sitting at the door for 30 minutes looking at his shoes. He's like, yeah, I'm over here looking at my shoes, acting like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But he's real like that. No BS.
I respect people like
that. Straight to it.
And he
you know
came
what I'm
from
saying?
humble beginnings.
Right.
So to sit down
and
talk about his...
It's all up here, man. It's all up here. When you beat yourself, like, as a martial artist, man, like you were saying, exercise is a way to develop your human potential. What can you do? You know what I mean? For instance, this is no cap. I'm not capping. But every day, 4 a.m., I'm up, right?
Nice.
Do my workouts, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to push, keep pushing. And when I find myself in that place where I'm pushing further than yesterday, you know what I mean? There's a joy there. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a joy there. Like, I'm in it and I'm focused and I'm not focusing on anything else but just doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? There's a liberation there.
And that's a form of meditation because you're concentrating. So it's, I look at exercise, since we were talking about exercise, that seems to be a common theme as far as what has kept people on point during this time.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely to be looked at as a celebration, to be looked at as a form of meditation, it's a gift, you know, like we have one life and it's not a dress rehearsal. So it's like, why not give yourself the best shot?
Exactly.
So I agree.
No, I love that. And you think about meditation, I tried to read as much as I can. I came to this quote about meditation. Meditation is you not allowing your mind to control your body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're just sitting there and letting the thoughts rush past you and just move through you, and you noticing them and you not reacting to them.
Being the captain of your thoughts.
Exactly.
Steering your thoughts in the direction in which they go, because every idea that comes about might not be your idea. We're in a world that we have to constantly filter out what's true to us to stay true to who we are. So if you have all of these influences coming in from what we see on the TV, what you
conditioning,
hear,
all of that
music that you listen to, the teachers that you came up under, your parents' voices, your cousins, all of these influences. So it's like your thoughts, a lot of the time, your thoughts are not your thoughts.
Exactly.
So you have to get to the truth. I
We
mean,
gonna go somewhere. We gonna go somewhere.
We going somewhere today.
But let me get to you and how you were relieving your stress in all of
Well, you guys are
this.
hitting the target. You guys are hitting the target. I have been in the gym. So the gift of this time, like you mentioned, is that stillness. That stillness, meditation, concentration, listening to your thoughts, choosing your thoughts, not allowing your thoughts to make you, but you make those thoughts, right?
Right.
Because it's all about what you're creating. It's a constant creation. So with this time and this season, there's been a lot of stillness, and I believe that one of the strongest things that has been a gift to me is the ability to be flexible, right? Like a lot of people.
Literally and figuratively, do you mean flexible?
Well,
I just had to
Hey,
be clear.
Talk that.
Whatever
both.
whatever you put on the outside is coming from within, anyways. So whether you want to think about it from an outside perspective or you want to think about it from an inside perspective, flexibility. So if you're putting it in your body that I'm gonna reach my toes, then that's obviously causing you to think differently.
Telling your cells what to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the ability to be flexible, like a lot of things have stopped for people. Right? Like you have these plans, and now the plan can't be the plan because there's no movement and motion where it needs to happen. So now where are you going to move? Where are you going to flow? Right? So I think that the willingness to be flexible, the willingness to consider many things has been a new introduction to self. And that's what's like being in a gym, that's a new introduction to self because it's a constant challenge, whether it's getting to the gym or whether it's you've been in the gym for a very long time and you've been lifting 5, now you're going to lift 10, right? So I think that this has been a moment, and this is a moment in life right now. This is a moment in our political climate where we have to consider new ideas. And whereas we probably were asleep on that before, now it's like, no, you have to now.
Right.
You don't get a choice. You're forced to. It's in your face. All of this other stuff has been in your face. Now this is in your face. Like the changes that we need to make, looking inside of ourselves, new ways of doing business, new ways of teaching children, okay? Because I became auntie teacher during this time, and that is, I know a lot of people got introduced to that. teaching your babies at home because who are you, kid?
Oh my God.
Where did you come from? I'm trying to figure that out. Go back to school.
That's
A new respect for teachers and what they do,
Facts.
especially the good teachers.
Yes.
Because I'd be like, you spend 8 hours with 30 kids?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yo.
How?
30 personalities?
How?
Yo.
And let alone in the whole virtual thing now. Yeah, I have a lady that does my hair, and brilliant woman. Like, you know, just one of those people that are truth tellers and extremely intelligent, right? And she was explaining to me about the whole virtual thing, and she says it's working out better. Her kids are showing up for class. They're learning.
Oh, I've heard opposite.
You know what I mean? And hey, she teaches sciences.
What is the age group?
She is high schoolers,
Okay, that's different from
sophomores, the real savages. I heard the sophomores are the ones that are the real savages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, who were you as a sophomore? Were you
Oh
a savage?
man, I don't even want to talk about
Okay.
high school.
So you know that's not.
Did you just ask him, was he a savage in sophomore? You just met him. Were you a savage? You were a savage at 16? Like, yo, relax. Listen to me, she met you before.
Right. I guess. You feel me? No, since we're talking about a lot of stuff, but like it's October, coming up in October. October's coming soon, so which means the circus is coming to town, and when I mean the circus, I mean the election.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, man, we thought that this past 6 months was wild.
Right.
November is gonna be bananas. Like it's about to go down, for sure. Like I'm waiting on it. What do y'all? How do y'all feel about that? Like, how do y'all feel about the election and everything that's going on in our government? Feel free.
Can I curse?
Go ahead.
Just let me know. I'm trying to hold it in. So between picking between devils at this point,
Right.
between picking, the interesting part is how they have marketed the Democrat Party. So
Branded,
when you
yeah.
see the vice president on the Democrat side come off the airplane and they focus on her Timberland boots, that just upsets my stomach. Because it's like, seriously? For real? That's just like, yo, I understand all these things are happening in the world. I understand what you're fighting for. I understand all these things. You want to change laws. You want to do this. You want to fight for this. But let's just spend this time to just get him out. That's all we really want to focus on right now. We worry about everything else. Yeah, let's do it. No. Let's focus on, so I get that part if that's your belief, but there's so much more to be talked about. So for me, it's an interesting, because it's, and we're going to detail more, but in talking about this documentary and which how it became, I've talked to both Republican and Democrat parties, and it's interesting to see their viewpoints. It's interesting to see people who don't take a branch of government and say, I'm just going for whoever helps my people. I don't care who it is. So it's very interesting. This is one of the most interesting elections I've ever been a part of or seen happen. Seriously. So I'm definitely interested again to see who it is. And I want all of the smoke, and we'll talk about that smoke later.
Because it's coming.
Because it's coming.
Nick, how you feel, man?
I posted about this on social media actually a few days ago about my personal beliefs on politics, and I'm not really political myself, but I have friends from the Republican side and the Democratic side, and I think people are so focused on what the two individuals running can do for the country, but who are they internally as people? Because progress can only start and change can only happen through honesty, through responsibility, through all these things that we're taught growing up.
Right.
So when you strip all the things that any president can do, create laws, create bills, pass this and that, at the end of the day, when you take all that away, who are they as individuals? What are their values? What are their morals? And I think that's something that a lot of people don't focus on. They're like, well, this person can do this and this person can do that. But whoever's up there in the Oval Office is going to be able to do that. But what were you taught as growing up? What are your kids growing up? Who do you want them to look up to? You know, that's our leader. You know, I feel like a lot of people miss that, and it's something that I look in. You know, if you want to get on that.
I'm listening and I'm thinking based on what you're saying that's tricky, because I feel like a lot of people, when we look at, like you've mentioned, you hear a lot of times when it comes to voting that it's all about picking the lesser of the evils, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like a lot of times, what president in our lifetime have we seen to show who they really are and what values and morals because it's you called it a show, right? It's I'm just listening to you and I'm like, okay, so if we had to look at the character alone, then do we know for sure who to vibe with, who to vote? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because who's really showing themselves?
When you talk about character, it's a hard thing to judge character without having to go through something adverse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Adversity in work builds character. How many of these people in office have ever faced any adversity?
Well, they had to face some adversity because they're in office. How many people even get into a position where they can...
I'm talking real adversity, like being broke, not being able to pay your bills. I mean, most of those people, I think, for sure came from money or a middle-class home.
Okay.
So going through the adversity of the people that they govern.
Exactly, like being able to relate to somebody that's on the bottom.
Okay.
Like most of them didn't come from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I think Obama, I have my thoughts about him, but I think Obama was the closest we would get to someone that has dealt with that kind of adversity. I mean, I've read his book, so if that's everything that's in there that's true, like he's had it rough, you know, coming up, even going to Harvard and dealing with the whole race thing, being in the Ivy League school and not being black enough for the black people and not being white enough for the people that, you know what I mean, his constituents, you know what I mean? So, but I think that most of these people that are in office, I don't think that a good majority of them have had a hard life and know what it is to have without, to not know where your next meal is coming from, to not know how, you know, any goals or any ambitions and your environment around you is subpar at best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that any of them have had that. But you're going to affect policy for those who live that kind of life? Like, and you don't have... It's like policing. It's like having police officers police a neighborhood that they don't live in. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
And they say power and money amplifies your character.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So, which is scary on your point. You're saying that these individuals grew up without ever having to deal with anything. You know, they had it so quote unquote easy. Now they have all this power and they're leading a country, and it's amplifying their true characters and morals. You know, because I totally 100% agree with you, and I understand where you're coming from.
For sure. Go ahead, Chiest.
I definitely advocate towards policing the area that you either grew up in or that you feel where you can have a connection, not just police, but have a connection to. Because if you've never been to certain parts of a city or a neighborhood and you've always been told, hey, don't go over there. Now you have power, you go over there, you come out the car with your hand on your hip.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
But to say something, and since we're being candid, and I love you, I just love your energy for the show. My grandmother is in her 70s. We had a conversation, and she said, I'm a Republican. I said, what? Grandma.
I get it, though.
This is grandma. I said, grandma. She said, because I've worked for over 50 years in my life, and I don't want to pay for people like your auntie, my daughter, to sit on her butt and do nothing.
I sympathize with that.
you should work. I'm retired. If you're not retired, you should be working. I should not have to pay for what you're doing. She said, we did step out and vote for Obama, but then he didn't do what he said he was going to do. So for the second term, we didn't vote for him. So there are reasons, you know what I mean, to go back and forth depending on your beliefs and your,
Right.
you know, what you believe in. But what's interesting is, you know, you assume, you know, if you are this, then you believe in this, and that's not true.
Right.
I was so surprised, but when she broke it down, I understood from her standpoint. She's always been thought, okay, I'm not going to be, you know, I'm not going to live the way my parents lived. I'm going to work. I'm going to earn a living. I'm going to retire. I'm going to go to this prestigious college. I'm going to get this degree. And now it's like, yo, I know people, you know, friends, family, whoever, sit on their butt, 6, 7 kids, Social Security checks, and they got more money than me, who've been working for 40, 50 years, and I'm paying for it. Whether it's cents or dollars, I'm not wanting to pay for it. She said, Republicans work, Democrats don't. And I was like, yo, grandma, stop it. So I understand that point, but she showed me a different side to look at.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's all about perspectives. You know what I mean? I think that that if we understood, if we could just take a second just to live in somebody else's shoes, the opposing to what we are, right? I think we would understand, like, we will understand where the opposition is coming from, and the opposition will understand where we're coming from. You know what I mean? And I hate to think that human beings are opposing each other when there's no one else like us. Not even on this planet. There's nothing else that looks like us. You know what I'm saying? And then we can talk about that, you know, off air, but I can go deep into like biology, astrophysics, like just, anyway. So like with all that said, we are artists, right?
Yes.
And our job is to be mirrors to society, right? So, and that mirror that we hold up is our work, our projects, our films, our photography, whatever, art sculptures, whatever the case may be, right? So, I mean, as artists and your artist responsibility, right? What do you think? I mean, I said what I think art is and artistry is. Like, when you all started pursuing being an artist, do you remember what it was for you that triggered that? Yeah? Nick, go ahead.
What inspired us to be artists?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up with a family who were all artists. I was the only one. My only other artist in my family is my cousin Emily, who's a painter. But I went to school actually pursuing sports. I went to an all-Catholic male high school on the south side of Chicago, actually, Mount Carmel High School, and I went there to pursue football. And then it was midway through my time at Mount Carmel that my friend at the time asked me to help with theater and the plays that were going on. And I was turned off by it, and he convinced me, and the drama teacher convinced me to do it. So I did it, and on the side of my football, and I had stage lights. And being able to sit behind the curtain and behind the scenes and kind of being a fly on the wall allowed me to watch people who've never met each other create a story for
The
people.
whole world, yeah.
Yeah, and then just watch this small little thing develop into this beautiful story. And to have people come on, you know, the night of opening and cry and feel and those emotions, and me even behind the spotlight feeling for these people that I've been watching for months. It was something that intrigued me and something that inspired me to go to Columbia College in Chicago to pursue acting. It's something I was just driven to do. I've spent 6 years at Columbia, and then I've been doing it ever since. But just watching a group of individuals who've never met each other create something that's inspiring and emotional and allows people to have that hour away from their distractions and that noise that their work, their job, all that stuff all day, just to sit and to feel and to get those emotions was something beautiful.
Nice.
So I wanted that power. I wanted to do that. So I did plays and musicals in high school at Mount Carmel, and then like I said, went to Columbia, and I've haven't went back to theater. I have a high respect for it, and I approach it differently, and I wouldn't be opposed to doing it, but I've done film and television since I graduated.
Well, thank you for answering that calling, sir.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
Of
we
course.
need more artists,
Sure.
for sure. Chiest, what was it for you?
9 years old, home from school sick. Mother made me a peanut butter and jelly with the chicken noodle soup, the nasty can, not the chunky one, the first one with the little strings.
What?
Campbell's.
Oh, yeah.
Campbell's joint?
Oh.
But the stringy can,
You didn't like the?
not the chunky. No, the Campbell's chunky is good because you got the chunky with the
But just the
vegetables.
regular,
Yeah,
like
but just
8
the regular
ounce?
can, I was like,
I
no,
get
I'm
you.
good
That's a
on
lot of sodium.
that. I'm good because it get cold too quick. Like it just wasn't my
bad look.
type.
It's a bad
But I
look.
was sitting there and I was eating it. I remember my mom being in the kitchen crying, and I don't know what's happening, but subconsciously I remember thinking another guy hurt her, and she put on Drew Hill, I Should Be Your Boyfriend, and Beauty, and her whole mood changed. And I said to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to change people's moods with music. I see my mom change her whole mood. And so the interesting part about that is even to this day, I write for women majority of the time, and I think it's because I'm still speaking for my mom,
Thanks.
her hurt and her pain. So
Appreciate
that's the reason why I started.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sis. Oh, that's so extra.
Started off with Campbell's, then I started getting hungry. Went to that.
Like, what just happened? That was so transformative. For me, you know, I have to owe it to church. You know, it started with my home church, Christ Temple Baptist Church on Wood Street in Markham. And as a little kid, you know, quoting the scriptures, standing up in front of everyone, and it was just a safe ground to play. And that led into just acting, writing, singing, dancing. I was that kid that would get my cousins together and say, here, take this line, take that line, we're gonna put on a show for the aunties and the uncles. And then we had to do it because I made
Right.
everyone
And
do
now
it.
they
But we
expect
put on a
it.
show, and
Right.
it was just always fun for me. I find that I'm less of an artist and more of a heartist. That is a word that I made up, and I'm gonna
Unpack that
go
for
with
me.
it.
Unpack that hardest
Yes,
for me.
a artist, because to be an artist is so risky. Like a lot of people don't recommend it. They're afraid of it because it comes with a lot of risks. I think this is like, to be an artist, what is that, like painter, writer, dancer, singer, actor, whatever it is. It's like there isn't a 1 + 1 = 2.
Starving
you can
artist.
go to school, and that whole idea about being a starving artist and everything like that. So it's not the most glorified profession to go into. However, like it is one of the most glorified if you
Ingested,
make it,
like
if you make it.
for sure.
So when I say a artist, I think for some artists, they will find that they can't not do this. They can't not act. They cannot sing. Like they have to do it. It's a part of what makes them breathe. You know,
Yes.
it's the reason why they rise, and they don't fit the status quo because they need to express themselves. They need to be a mirror. And when you have when you have that first moment of connecting with your audience, being able to convey a story, because a lot of people are walking around not able to speak for themselves, not able to feel for themselves. So when you come along as a artist and you can speak to the hearts and the minds and say, this is, I got you. You know, we watch what we watch and we listen to what we listen to because we can relate to it. Because there's something in there that speaks to what's going on in our life, right? We got soundtracks for our lives. We have movies. We have everything relates to a little piece of our lives because that is the expression. So as a artist, when you realize that you are an expression, right? You're a whole.
The cat paws.
That's the hardest logo, the hardest.
You're a full-on. You're a full-on expression.
Yes.
Of what's happening in life, what's happening with mom, what's happening with anything, and you're open enough, it's like, who, artists, what? We out here on a whole mission. It's a whole other type of thing to be able to express oneself in a whole manner for the world of whoever. Like we're soldiers. We're different type of soldiers.
And that's why I think we need more artists, because there's, like you said, people are drawn to certain people who they can relate to, and there's so many people that have different needs and wants, and so there needs to be more artists, because something you might not do, someone that follows me or supports me might not relate to.
Yeah, it's like we're that vibe,
sure.
we're that vibration,
Yeah.
and not only that, but we're all creators, right?
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
creators. Like some of us just, like I said, we need to do this because it's a part of what makes us breathe and wake up in the morning. Like we get excited.
Oh.
You should always do something that excites you. Sometimes, for some other people, it excites them to work on a heart. You know, for another person, it's turning on a light, saying, wow, you're on stage. But we are all creators, so we all have that creative element about us. And when we can, even if you're like a lawyer or you're sitting in the office, whatever that is, there's probably some creative aspect of you that you can express. Like a lot of people, creativity come out in cooking, right? A lot of people, creativity come out in teaching. Like teachers are gifted teachers. They really teach the house down, right? They are creative with their students. Their students love them, you know? So it's, we all are creative individuals. We happen to be artists sitting right here, right?
And to that point,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
like you were saying, Nick, like your first experience, you know, with artists, seeing people that come from different places and come create this world, right? You guys created something, and I was blessed and fortunate to be able to be on set with you all that one day, for sure. Like, let's talk about that. We built this. Let's start with the soundtrack. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful song. First, tell people, is it out now?
November 4th, the day after election, to put pressure on that
That's perfect.
that president. I'm ready.
That's perfect.
I want the
See, I
smoke.
like where your
I
mind be
want the
going.
smoke.
See, this is why I watch you.
wanna
Because
go
you be
half
moving, bro. You be
November 3rd is yours. November 4th is ours.
No, Chiest, talk about the song, man. What's the song about?
So let me start here. What started off as a song to fight for the injustices of what's been happening became not only me fighting for our people, me fighting for anybody who goes through injustices, but it became me also fighting for my son while my son is fighting for his life. So what started off as a song became a movie, and then what started off as a movie became a documentary, because while I'm making the film, I had to choose between going on set for the first day of shooting a 40-person protest scene or going to a funeral for COVID because my cousin died. He's only 29.
My condolences.
And then my son just had heart surgery 3 weeks ago. So the process of going through all of these things while I'm also in court fighting for my son in custody battle, it's definitely been a process. So the beginning was, I have these scripts, I'm excited to do them. COVID comes, everybody's having a frenzy. What am I gonna do now? Okay, well, I'm still an artist, so let me find some type of way to speak for our people. I don't want to go out there and march. That's not the way I protest. And I definitely don't want to march because at that time I just won my son in the custody battle. I don't want to lose that peacefully protesting something happened, police step on my shoe. I'm from the south side of Chicago.
You don't step on those shoes.
You don't step on my
You
shoe.
step on shoes.
I'm wearing Jordans, you don't do that, right?
Not at all.
So I decided to protest through music. Let me invite 20 artists. 3 showed up. Still love the other 17, but 3 showed up. And that was for a reason. Spoke to my partner in crime, my producer, my friend, person I look up to, Percy Beatty, and he took the vision. We made it together, and what started off as a song became a film. Was looking for actors, looking for actresses, search a Chicago actor, found this amazing soul next to me on my left.
You
Linked
definitely
up,
did your thing too, for sure.
linked up with my partner in crime for his project that he was doing separately from mine, and got introduced to this amazing gentleman. And just the way that they carry themselves in what he spoke about as far as president or somebody who represents us, his core, what he believed in, the way he carried himself, his foundation, was something that I wanted to build on as far as saying, I want you to have my lead role, because there's something about you that I connect to for both of them. So what started off as a song became, and evolved into more. A lot of pieces have been put into place. We'll talk about those later. But essentially, the song itself, We Built It, is a song that basically says, where would America be without the inventions, culture, and the creativity of the people that they are oppressing?
Thanks. No, it's, I definitely got that feel on set too.
Talk about it.
I definitely got that feel.
We've never had this conversation, so I'm definitely.
Yeah, man. Man. I mean, then I'm still kind of warm outside, and the protesters were still at their height. And just being outside and being in the middle of the city, and it was the South Shore, right? Yeah, it was South Shore, and it didn't seem like, okay, well, we were shooting a film, protest scene, right? And it just felt like I was there for a reason, right? I was there, I wasn't protesting, I was there being an artist, right? And like I said, it was the first time me being on set for a while, for a couple of years. So I was kind of nervous. And to get there and seeing how you were running the set, it just made me feel so comfortable, right? And to take direction and to follow your lead, right, through this, sensitive, this very sensitive project. And sensitive, I mean just spiritually sensitive. You think about it, man. What does it stand for? Like, what is We Build It? Like, what does that mean for everyone else? What does it mean for me being here on the set? What do I have to do? You know what I mean? And just hearing the song over and over again, take after take, it just put me there. Just put me there. Like, we did build this shit. This is our shit. My homegirl, Denisha, I had her on last episode. She was talking about summertime Chicago and how she was on a boat, right? And she was like, man, I want a boat. And she was like, I see all of, all the Caucasians that, are enjoying the boats or whatever. And she was like, their ancestors made their fortune off of the backs of black people, right? So she was like, that's damn near my boat. You know what I mean? And it's just thinking about that. And it's no malice to anybody else, nor any other races or anything like that. But truth is truth, right? And truth has to be upheld. And truth has to come to the light. It's been suppressed for so long. Now, everything is going down, and everyone's getting woke, and the light is being shined. And now we see all of the blemishes in this country and how fucking ghetto it is. This shit is ghetto. America, this is, okay, we gotta call America for what it is. It's not a country, it is a business. America is a corporation. It is not a country. You know what I'm saying? If you can do your research, we are not a country, we are a business. We are a corporation. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? So everyone here is a product that's being sold and over again and producing. So like, let's not go down that rabbit hole. I can
be taking me there
all day long. You know what I'm saying? This is why I stay home all the time, because I don't want to get popped. They're gonna put me in a van somewhere. You know what I'm saying? For the shit I'm talking about. But no, we're coming up on that time, man, and I want to adhere at the Art Live Life podcast. We tease out your reason to live life. That's what ART stands for, a reason to. So I would like for you all to just talk about your reason for living life. Like, what's the purpose? Because you can do anything, you know what I mean? We know we all have a start. I was watching this documentary, and this guy was like, life is about numbers. You start with a number, you end with a number. Your birthday, and the day you die. Everything in between is a number. You know what I'm saying? So that in between is your reason for living life. So, Nick, go ahead. What's your art? Your reason to?
That's a hard question to ask.
Hey, man.
Because our reasons sometimes change.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now, what is it for you right
We're constantly evolving, but
Yeah.
currently right now, I mean, through my work or just as an individual?
Individual.
I love inspiring others. It's something that I found helps so many people. I think a lot of people try to or have intentions, but I've learned over the years that it's just a gift, and I say that in a very humbling way. Just every day, people are reaching out to me just as far as my words, just how inspiring I am. And I've taken a break from social media as a personal choice, just to focus on, again, health and all that. But the people that reach out to me and check on me and say, I miss hearing your words. I miss, seeing your posts because of how inspiring they are. Because as, we're just so grounded and humble for the opportunities that we have.
Yeah.
And I think, based off of what I've heard, people say that that's hard to find in the talent that I have. A lot of people who are talented don't really do that or have that mindset.
The
And
compassion,
yeah, so for me, just whether I'm helping others in anything that they need, people who, might not think they can be an artist or act, I take the time to help them. But again, just my reason right now, I think, is just to shed light on positivity, and especially with what we're going on right now, all the negativity that's constantly around us, just to be a positive, outlet for people. I'm always about thinking about writing, whether it's a book or creating a podcast, just to focus on the positivity that we have in our lives and the blessings that we have. So currently right now, I think that's what my purpose is.
I appreciate that, brother. Because it's essential.
Sure.
People like you are essential, man. Just bringing the compassion and the love for individuals back. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, perspective. If you step in someone else's shoes, you know what I mean? Because everyone has their shit. We go through things. It's tough for us every day. That it is tough for us. And we need people like you that, are there to be compassionate and to help people rise above that. So Thank you. Kudos.
One of my favorite quotes is the blessings that you have right now are the blessings people are praying for. So it's something that I constantly remind myself of, to whether it's a simple thing to have a pair of shoes, that's something that someone else is praying for. So that's a little deep. I know you're throwing out the quotes and all that stuff, but
you can.
Love that.
No, you take that. Look.
I've received all that too, for sure. Chiest, go ahead.
So I'm not gonna get deep, but a reason to, with everything happening in 2020, I will honestly say that this is the best year of my life, by far, not even close. And the reason why is because I have always been running, but I realized that this year I wasn't going anywhere. So when I sat still, I regrouped. I'm at a point now where tomorrow is my last day at my job because I'm taking care of my son when he gets back from surgery, from healing, and I'm not scared about money. My energy, my frequency is so at a level to where I'm like, yo, this is what I do. I was built for this. Imagine what other creative things I can do if I'm even more skilled, if I meditate more, if I spend time with myself more. I've always been building someone else's dream. It's time to build yours. So this has been the best year of my life by far. I'm excited to see what else happens, but my reason to live, this is the first thing that I can honestly say. I understand when people say, if you don't stand for nothing, you won't die for anything. You'll fall for anything.
Right.
This is the first thing that I would honestly die for. First thing. Like, when I hear this song, when I see this documentary, when I'm interviewing these people, I'm damn near in tears. Just being in the presence, I'm damn near in tears, seeing these three ladies, seeing my actors and my leads pour from their gut something, take on these roles. It's heartfelt. And to bring something out of me to even know that the universe has, put me in a situation where I'm around them. So I'm grateful,
Man, I'm grateful for you.
My reason to live is to be the vessel that I'm supposed to be.
Say less. That's all you need, sis.
Now, which timeline are we coming from? which timeline? Which timeline? Like, okay, my first reason to live was in the 80s, then in the 1900s. That reason.
Let's talk about that.
No, we don't have that much time.
My reason to live is exactly what he's talking about. It's been too much bloodshed. It's been too much sacrifice, right? We got here because of all of those timelines before us. And we wouldn't even be in this room right now. So the reason to live, and I think that the common thread is that it's not about just me, myself, and I, right? It's for the next person. I do believe that we are all connected. There's way too many people in this world. I got a chance to sit with you. Why is that? Exactly. I don't believe that we necessarily are connected to people, or we like people, or we're attracted to people. I think that we come across the purpose in the people. Like, I'm here for the purpose in the person. How can I serve? Right. So when we what's going on?
We're gonna have to come back. Now we want to change our answers.
But we're all saying the same thing. You're talking about inspiration, right? You're talking about inspiration, putting one hand in front of the other, understanding that I am you and you are me, and I can't even function without you. That's nature, right? The tree, the water, like, it's all
atmosphere,
connected.
all that.
It's all connected. And the moment that we disconnect from serving purpose, because it's about that purpose, right? That's real enlightenment. That's getting to the truth. That's touching God, right? It's the purpose. When you don't serve your purpose, you automatically shut down. You don't talk the same. You don't think the same. You don't walk the same, and then you attract craziness in your life. Yeah. Because you're outside of your purpose. So it's already, so I'm here I would like to exemplify courage, right? There's a live by scripture that I have, only be strong and courageous. And then you look up the definition of strong, you look up the definition of strength, you look up the definition of courage, right? And you really see what that is, and then only be that way. That means everything that I step to, it has to be about purpose. And am I bold enough to go for it? Am I trusting enough to go for it, to understand that I have been created for something greater than just what is status quo and what has been fed to us?
Facts.
Again, getting back to original idea of you, right? Because it changes when somebody speak over your life, or when somebody tell you what you are and what you're not, and you're supposed to do something this way and do something that way, and you came into this world a whole individual, a whole original. Nobody's like you. You got a whole blueprint, and then you got bloodline. And what is your responsibility to that? So a reason to live, I feel like my reason to live is to say, baby, it's okay. Be you, be all of you. Be bright, shine. How can I help you shine?
Right.
Love. Like, I don't like to, I immediately stop when, and I'm sensitive to what is considered to be lost, what is considered to be broken, what's hiding. What's I'm sensitive to that. Like, everybody in a room partying, this person is sitting down by themselves. What is your name? Because you got it. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. What's inside of you that's taken aback, right? Because you're only gonna get attacked according to what you have in you that's really that strong. You dig what I'm saying?
She like, oh, my feet just hurt. I'm waiting on the 99 2000s.
And that's fine too.
Wait on the
That's
99
fine too.
2000s.
And it's not. It doesn't have to be that deep.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that deep.
All right, girl.
Just checking on you. Just checking on you. I'm here to check on folks.
No, we need that, and
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you all, man, and I want to thank you all for being here, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. But one last thing,
Yeah.
tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Oh, sure. Under my name, Nick Bravo, B as in boy, R-A-V-O, on Facebook. Nick Bravo on Facebook, NickBravo. But I also have my Instagram handle. It's at The Wolf of Chicago. I'm always hungry for my work. Chiest.
All social media, Chiest Love Music, CHIEST, LOVE, MUSIC. If you have edges, please DM me. Holla.
You have edges? Where is
Something about edges.
No, edges are important. Mary Q Angel. You can find me on any handle, Mary Q Angel. True and Blue, Mary Q Angel.
And that is it. Episode 10 of the Art to Live Life podcast. Peace, light, and love, people.